Forest Law is an art project and a territorial research I did together with Paulo Tavares, based on a field trip we made together to Western Amazonia in 2013. We knew each other already from a collective media project where we shared a common interest in Michel Serres' The Natural Contract, where he pleads for the binding pact with nature that should complement the social contract that constitutes our legal system. So he guides us a bit through the book. Michel Serres' Rights of Nature, that recognizes natural entities as legal subjects, is a reality in Ecuador. And that's why we chose to do our field trip there. What I find particularly interesting is that with these new laws, Ecuador extends its jurisdiction to a multi-species population. And by doing so, it places itself in a wider cosmopolitical context. And forest law basically looks at three landmark legal cases that are unfolding in Ecuador, where the forest itself is its main protagonist. The outcome of our field trip is a video work, exhibitions, an assemblage of documents, and this book. The book benefits from a much longer research that Paulo conducted on the spatial and post-colonial politics of Amazonia. And it goes a lot deeper into the historical background, tells the story, for instance, how the Amazonian forests were strategically mapped by the US Geodesic Department to open up the forests to inaccessible resources, particularly oil exploration. So new image technology coincide with gaining power over these inaccessible resources. But today, as Paulo demonstrates in the making of many maps for this book, there is a cartographic practice that is a lot more empowering to indigenous activism. The maps that Paulo created shows the grid of oil concessions granted by the state of Ecuador to foreign oil corporations. And this grid overlaps to a great extent with indigenous territories that are collectively owned by the Quechua people of Sariaco. So they took the state of Ecuador to court for allowing them, or rather instigating, the invasion of their land by these foreign entities. They won the case after 10 years of struggle. Another case we looked at was in the Shuar territories in the south of Ecuador, where a Chinese copper mine was just about to implement their plans for an open pit mine and hydroelectric plants, both of which would really devastate this region. So all of these conflicts in Amazonia are based in the fundamental difference in viewing land as either private property or as a life-sustaining ecology entwined with the life of these forest communities. The indigenous people in the Amazon, they speak of the living forest, which entails more than just the great variety of species that inhabit this space. It includes the cultural and spiritual signification of the forest as well. So there's a lot of pressure now that weighs down onto these territories and their way of life. And of course, we are aware that the region also is of major importance for the global climate regulation and for its insane diversity of species that have accumulated there, many of which aren't even discovered by Western science yet. Forest law takes the slow road in trying to understand the ecological and cosmopolitical dimension of these trials. We took the time to navigate through these territories, to listen to key actors, and to shed light on these trials from many different angles. And we are very happy to make the book now available to Italian readers as well.